Hello and welcome to the D20 Afterhours podcast number 8. I'm Dave. Just Dave.
He's the only one here. It's just Dave.
And Ollie.
Hello.
I don't know if you want to introduce me separately. I just jumped in. This is Jason again.
It's Jason again.
Jason's
and
back.
why are you here, Jason? Should we have this discussion right off the bat?
I knew he was going to do this to me, like from the moment he mentioned it.
Yeah.
I'm here as punishment.
Yes.
Okay.
For not getting a recycling bag.
So last week we talked about the pizza boxes. And we showed a picture, I'll show it again right now, of all the pizza boxes. So, early this week, I turned to Jason and go, "Hi Jason, I will wake up early in the morning, go down to the library and get them if you can't." And Jason was just like, no, I've got this, and you didn't have this.
He is.
So I'm naming,
correct.
I'm naming and shaming you right now is because today is recycling day and we're going to have to wait now 2 weeks for it to be taken.
To be fair, tomorrow morning is recycling day, so I have at least a night to come up with some kind of machine that will allow me to acquire them. Either I feel like a time machine is a little bit too crude, going back in time and buying them earlier. I'm thinking more like a device that will allow me to break into one of the buildings that have recycling bins or bags and get some.
I just like to point out that little speechette is the reason I love Jason and he's one of my best friends.
The actual irony of that story would be that I would end up being arrested or something, but you'd find that I'd actually used all of the recycling stuff that we need to get rid of to build the machine, therefore have recycled it all in the first place and probably didn't need it.
And I'll be happy because there won't be any more pizza boxes because you'll be arrested and they're all gone.
I think you should track down the Infinity Gauntlet and just...
yeah.
Oh, well,
it seems like a slightly shit reason to use one of the most powerful artifacts in the world, but...
I really just use it as an excuse because I've been trying to get you on the podcast for ages and now I can actually just pull this on you. It's like, you know how you promised me this would happen? Now you have to be on the podcast.
So I met Jason doing cocaine in a Russian spa, and...
oh my god. What did Dave say last week about not lying to people randomly?
Okay, fine. It was at an orgy in ancient Rome.
So we're improving every week here at the D20 podcast because
so.
Ollie went to the bathroom before we started the podcast.
My bladder is voided, bitches.
And it's probably going to be about 20 minutes before he really needs to go pee.
Oh, I thought of an idea for a t-shirt. It says, "Homophobes can suck my dick." I get it, mate.
I don't know if that is an
It's
original
not even
thought.
relevant to anything we ever do. It's got nothing to do with anything. It's just a t-shirt design.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be related.
No, that's too easy.
I do want to point out that I feel like saying your bladder is voided is the nicest way a doctor can say you're going to die because you have no useful bladder anymore.
Or there's a literal void in your bladder and it's pulling all your other organs close together into a singularity of mushy.
It's like someone saying, you know how everyone lives? You're about to do the opposite.
Oh shit! No, okay, true story. My friend from high school, his dad, his mum died, and
But this is a terrible story to begin with.
The way he told his kids is he said, "All right, everyone that has a grandmother that's alive, step forward," and they did, and he goes, "Not you." I was just like, it's the worst fucking thing.
I've heard that joke before as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, he must have either read the joke or just like that's
Or
a horrible thing to say to someone though.
Another shirt idea.
God, this is gonna be gold.
is my toilet got a 5-star review?
That sounds like that shit would be a bit shit.
Yeah, that's a... Yeah.
So what I'd really like to talk about on this podcast...
I'm sick, by the way. Like for
capitalism.
all those that are wondering why my voice is all grainy and I'm just not got the same energy, I've got a cold at the moment, and that's why Jason said it really.
Yeah.
To fill the void of me going, ugh.
And the void in my bladder. Yeah. So in case you haven't cottoned on already, this podcast is kind of just us shooting the breeze.
Yeah, it's a way for us to kind of get out of our normal videos of when we do the NPCs podcast.
Yeah.
Not podcast, videos.
Yeah.
My brain. Where we just talk about critical role reviews, and then Dragon Tavern, where we just do Dungeons & Dragons related stuff.
Yeah.
This is basically for everyone out there listening, and for us to kind of just relax and kind of banter for a while and just let things out.
So instead of being like, "Hello and welcome to NPCs of Wildmount," we're just who we are in regular life.
Yeah. So I mean, we're not interesting at all. I made some tofu jerky though.
Oh wow!
Have you tried something?
I haven't tried the tofu one. Do you have any
what's
Cajun?
around?
I want to buy some Cajun if my
No,
poker
not
game.
Cajun. You
No,
can't
I know.
try the new one.
I know. I will try the new one. But if my poker game goes well tomorrow, I might buy some Cajun because that stuff is seriously good. Dave is just going to get some
Tofuki?
Now, is it made of tofu or is it just like beef but tofu flavored? Because I feel
Tofu flavored. Tofu doesn't have a flavor.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It would be a poor business venture if it's not actually.
It is tofu.
Okay.
Flavored.
Don't handle my piece because I don't want to get your bugs. So can I pick it from the...
I wasn't going to handle your piece. I was going to be very considerate.
Yeah, don't handle my
I
piece.
think everyone has just heard
It's like-
both of these people say, "Don't handle my piece" several times without any visual context because this is an audio podcast.
Yeah. So Ollie's tasting some. Well, sorry about the clicking. Ollie's tasting some tofu that I have made, tofu jerky. It's basically got some marinade mixed with tofu. What do you think of it?
It's the goods.
Yeah, it's
It reminds me of...
the same flavour as the Cajun.
But the texture and the flavour reminds me almost of udon. Like a spicy Cajun udon.
Interesting.
Delicious.
I just made that on the weekend, so we'll see how that develops over time.
For those of you who don't know...
I don't want to mention it.
Okay,
We won't mention it.
sure. That's
We'll leave that being a mystery for the audience. I don't want to mention it.
For those of you who don't know, my middle name is Douglas.
Yeah.
That could also be a very useful start. Like when you do want to mention it, we'll have a "and last time," and then Dave was like, "I don't want to mention it."
We should totally do soap opera recaps for the podcast.
You can edit it. Alright? I've got enough editing to do with everything we're
You don't
filming this
let me
weekend.
edit things.
It's because you haven't got the right application.
No, I mean, I was doing okay with Corral. But
You can't do that effect.
I can't do that, but I can do other things.
You have to do the effect because every video's got the effect.
I don't even like the effect.
You don't like the effect of it kind of moving down.
Yeah.
Why don't you say something? It's your video too. This is the first time you've said that you didn't like that effect of it. Just
Last time I said something like that, you got really upset.
Well, I'm upset that you didn't say anything.
So I'm fucked either way.
Exactly. So you might as well tell me at the beginning. All right. Well, what? So you don't like the effect?
Not so much the effect as I think if we're gonna have like the... Do we have to do this now? Like
This is the first time I've heard about it. Whenever we
Because
did other a good time. You didn't mention it before we did the podcast. You didn't mention it after.
Because you got angry last time and then you ended up saying just do whatever the fuck you want. And I was like, oh shit.
I'm actually a little disappointed right now that I don't have like a bag of crisps, or, like a box of popcorn or something. Because this is amazing, guys. Trust me.
Well, I didn't know you didn't like it. If you didn't like it, I wouldn't have done it.
FYI, is there anything in the movies we want to see? I haven't checked.
For those that's the first time you're listening to this, Jason works at a cinema.
Yeah, so we get like free tickets.
Yeah.
Well, no, I get free tickets.
He gets free tickets,
me,
and he gives them to you.
Yeah.
You just
No, that gets me fired. What? There was a question.
There was a question. Is there anything good at the movies that we want to see?
What do you think of Solo? Han Solo.
Yeah,
I haven't actually seen this song.
Well, there you go. We
So,
should see that.
So I have
a
no.
lot of people can say that because it's not doing well.
Oh, really?
Like I think there was a lot of people who because the Last Jedi was such a divisive film. I think a lot of people don't know what they're getting into with Star Wars. I think now,
Yeah.
and I think they're getting a little bit of fatigue. I guess. I mean
I don't think it's fatigue. I just don't think anyone wanted a Han Solo movie.
Well, I mean,
Like, who went out and like, you know what I want to see next?
A Gambit
Han
movie.
Solo movie. No one wanted to see it.
Well, yeah, but has that ever stopped a studio in the past?
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, the Mummy movie, that Mummy remake, no one asked for a Tom Cruise Mummy remake.
It's an already established franchise of Star Wars. And you're adding, you're going to say, all right, we're going to do a first movie focusing on one individual character. Who is the most, which character do we want to know more about? What has enough mystery behind it? Which character needs to be fleshed out?
Chewbacca.
And they pick the character that's already dead, and that I mean, you don't really need to know because you've seen most of his story throughout the normal episodes.
Do you know what terrifies me that they were doing in America for a while? I don't know if they still are, but they would show a movie before it's released to a test audience, The test audience would just be like 25 people off the street. And then they would change the film based on what 25 random people thought.
They still do that.
Do they still do that?
It's a very, very regular thing.
That's terrifying. I don't think it's a good idea.
Well, actually, thinking of the...
Because that 25 random people, what if they were all Trump supporters?
Random people, but I mean, statistically...
Randomly all Trump supporters.
Yeah.
If they went out and they were like, oh yeah, let's just grab 25 people off the street
Hey, look,
in the
there's a
middle
Trump
of
rally.
a Trump rally,
Yeah, exactly.
then the likelihood is really high.
It's just like that walks in and everyone's wearing the Make America Great Again hats and like, wait a second, something's gone wrong.
Now we're back to apparel design. I have another t-shirt idea.
What's the t-shirt design?
It's I roll 2 points of fuck you. It was from our
That's
game,
not your design. That was a quote from one of our games
and
that's
I'm
online.
stealing it, and no one's going to remember. Except for you.
And the person who said it, Casper.
Yeah, but it's...
And the people that were there at the
None of
time.
them, it was months ago.
And the
no
fact
one can,
it's on our
no
channel.
one can remember that far ago. I can barely remember what
It's on
this
our
morning
YouTube
was
channel.
like.
I can find it.
No one watches those videos anyway.
Last
Actually, that's-
time on the podcast, Ollie set himself up for a lawsuit.
I'd just like to say that thank you guys out there for watching our Critical Role Campaign 2 Episode 1 video 5,000 times. The new campaigns.
No, or not just that one person.
Yeah, thank you, that one person who watched it 5,000 times. You are a trooper.
Yeah,
Like,
I just wonder like what else you do in that basement of yours. And also the other one,
Painting Goblin.
the other most popular one also went up by another 0.1,000 views.
Yeah. So thank you everyone that watched the stuff.
Because
I've
forget
got
about
a t-shirt
your
design.
Yeah.
It's, I don't like David's editing, but I'm not going to tell him.
Because he throws a fucking wobbly.
I
with a gun.
don't find wobbly. I when I hear things, I think you take when I like try and understand something and process it, and that's just, there's no fault on anyone here. It's just how I take it. It's like if someone says feedback and I don't understand it, I need to challenge it so I can understand it.
But the only problem is when I do, because you've said this to me, and I was like, okay, cool, that's what I'll do. When I have an issue, I will argue my point. And then last time I did, you got even more upset because I was arguing my point.
Okay, when was this? Because I don't remember it all.
Okay, so this was the conversation about, oh shit, it was an editing thing, and I was disagreeing with, I think it was the need for pictures all throughout the episodes, I think it was.
Yeah.
And you were, it's been a while. I've got it on Facebook if I want to look it up.
But you put it on Facebook.
I feel like
you mean it was on Facebook chat?
Yeah, it's on Facebook chat, yeah.
And how did that make you feel?
I think it is the fact that I like doing the videos with a lot of pictures and a visual element.
Yeah, it was some kind of thing like that.
And I think because the one thing with your edits, I don't think you put enough pictures in. I think that's when we're having the discussion, because I like a lot of pictures and you typically don't put enough pictures from my perspective.
Yeah.
I think it was something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But yeah, it just escalated to the point where you just said, I don't give a
I
shit.
think it was just frustrated at that time. I was just
so after that, I've just been like, okay, just do whatever.
Just that one time.
Wow.
So I feel like I was trying to work out directors that these two sound like they're doing like very visual options, things like that. But all I ended up with is like
it's Michael Bay and David Lynch.
No, not even remotely. He pointed Dave out as Michael Bay.
Where really?
Yeah.
Flashlands.
I was actually thinking you are both Christopher Nolan.
So
but one of you is the interstellar visual, like, whoa, kind of massive scene kind of thing, and the other one is the guy who came up with whoa.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's reached a point where I like where our show is at the moment and the format it is.
Yeah.
That I like to keep it that way.
Yeah.
And I think it's just a case of will you be able to replicate what I've been doing, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think you can?
Yeah. Yeah. But I there's some stuff that I want to improve in terms of the editing and what we do. But
like what? Because I know none of this.
Stacking two computers on top of each other when you go to edit.
I know. Let's talk about that.
We could combine videos, like not just doing Critical Role review, but also wrestling in hot mud, that kind of stuff. Because then it's like two angles.
I don't know the idea. It's probably not today is a good day to talk about because I feel awful.
We'll wait till you.
Yeah, we'll wait for another day.
I'd like to mention that my new podcast, sorry, not podcast, vlog channel is about to receive some new videos as I was away last weekend in Rotorua for the first time ever. which was exciting because that is...
Yeah, we saw your selfies.
I've never actually... thank you. I've never actually... Julia, by the way, loved your dinosaur edits.
We should explain that old debacle.
Yeah. But yeah,
finish on what you're saying.
it was cool. So I got to drive all through the North Island, which I've never done before. I've only ever gone from Wellington flying to Auckland and back, so I got to see all of the North Island countryside and all the little tiny towns along the way. It was really fun. But yeah, I recorded a whole bunch of that, and it's going to be on my vlog channel.
Alright. But yeah, so we should talk about the selfie thing.
Yeah.
So, do you want your do you want to explain your side of it, and then I'll explain how I saw it,
I think you're making this...
And then I'll explain how both of them saw it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because I don't know how you saw it.
Well, basically, like, Ollie had been posting pictures of his trip.
Yeah.
And taking photos with him and Julia, which are nice and sweet and all that. Mm-hmm. But when you were taking it, you were saying you were at a particular location.
Yeah.
But only had you two in it with no scenery of the location at all.
Yeah.
So you said your entire happy was the one I actually commented on.
Yeah.
And it reached that point, I don't know, and I go, there is no proof that you're entirely happy right now because it's just you two. And it's something that people do on Facebook a lot.
I just love that you think that there's a possibility that me and Julia went
anywhere.
To the corner of our bedroom
You
or something
could have
and took a photo. No,
I don't know this.
No, to be fair, there are a whole bunch of photos of me in front of signs and shit, but it's ones that Julia have taken, so it's on her phone, so it's on her
Yeah, because I noticed on Julia's one, like when you're doing the selfie, there's like the hooker fours in the background.
All I was just taking pictures of her because I wanted more pictures.
Yeah, and it reached, I saw that and I go, I can't remember what.
No, you take a picture of yourself and
I took a picture of myself on my
your beard.
Yeah, just my beard. Yeah. I'm like, oh look, I'm in Mexico.
and then you're like, now I'm in South Korea.
Like I go shh.
Yeah.
I went shh.
Yeah.
Like a little your finger across your mouth, and I went shh. You're in North Korea.
But the best part was the fact that you started editing dinosaurs into the back of our pictures, and then they were attacked by a dinosaur.
Yeah. So basically, Julia posted her pictures.
Yeah.
And I was just, I looked at them and was like, oh look, you can see the scenery in the background. I'm like, you know what this means. And I added a dinosaur.
See, how is he not Michael Bay?
I'll put it up on, are you okay with me putting this up? You ask Julia.
I have to ask Julia.
Yeah, ask Julia if she's okay with it. So
she's
if you're seeing it,
if you're seeing it, it's okay. If you're not seeing it,
use your imagination
between them over this discussion.
Yeah. I put in a dinosaur taking them behind them, and then the next one is like I put the dinosaur follows, and in the background you had the dinosaur, and I was like, then Ollie got a tank, and then you got the dinosaur being scared, and then the dinosaur ran away because Ollie used the tank.
Because I actually got to see a tank in real life. I'd never seen one outside Grand Theft Auto, and I must admit I did kind of consider jumping into it and just going on.
I think it's like the New Zealand War Museum. It's like on the State Highway one. I've never been to it. I've always passed for it.
I was there for Julia's granddad's 80th birthday. So it was a chance to meet the extended family of Julia, and I actually got like real nice proper food and stuff.
You got nice proper food.
I got to eat.
What do you eat? I'm starting to worry about your diet.
Did you know there was a guy in the Guinness Book of World Records who ate the most gravel? He ate an entire road. I think it was a road in Switzerland. It took him like a year, and he just...
Is his name Oliver? By any chance?
No, but he just sat there and he ate a small piece of road every day until he had eaten an entire road.
Interesting.
Yeah, too much free time. Too much free time.
I think there's more things at work than too much free time there. I think there's a little bit of just I want to set a record that will never be beaten because no one would be weird enough to try it again.
Well, I mean, you could set a record for anything that can't be beaten. Two idiots in a room doing a podcast on this day. That's a record.
Who can't count how many people there are in the room.
Yeah, exactly. God,
just getting back onto the cutesy photos. In Oliver's defense, right? I mean, I get it. Where when love is involved, home is where the heart is, and the heart is with that person. So it doesn't matter where you are, you're always home, or some kind of fluff like that. So Oliver's taking photos of them and saying, oh yeah, we're in Thai happy, but he doesn't care that they're in the Thai happy because he cares that they're both together. But on Dave's defense, that's cute to the point where it's really gross.
To be fair, I used to get Snapchat.
It was just that one thing of when people on Facebook when they say I'm in a particular location and don't show the location.
I just like
it just grinds me.
I just like that there's doubt there, but Actually,
there's no proof you're entirely happy.
Oh,
There is no photo proof.
Because I have a photo.
Currently, from what I can see on your social media,
Yeah.
there's no proof you went to Thai.
Look,
I would love the opposite. I would love it next time you go on a trip, you never take a photo of you in that location. You just take photos of the scenery as if you just picked them off the
To
internet.
be fair, there was this woman, I think she was from America, and she just needed some time out. She just could not handle life anymore, so she pretended to go on a trip all through Europe and just used Photoshop to put herself in all these different locations.
Yeah, people
and
have done
her
it before.
entire family and friends were like, "Oh yeah, cool. How was the trip?" And she was like, "Oh, it's great." That level of deception is just madness.
So you pretty much did that?
Yeah, except I was actually there.
Well,
Yeah, based on what?
Have you seen the
Look, okay,
these
what
certain
about this?
photos?
What about this?
No, I believe
This
you
is
actually...
fucking false.
Look, for the record, I do believe you went to Thailand. Alright? Just to make it stated,
Right.
I believe you went to
You're not
Thailand.
actually doubting it. You're just. saying
I wasn't
that there
doubting
is
it. I
possibility
was just
of doubt.
saying, if you say you're in Thai happy, put up a picture of Thai happy.
That being said, as we all know, anything that goes on the internet is checked out by the NSA. So if anybody from the NSA out there can confirm Ollie's location over that weekend,
To be fair, the
very
amount of
appreciated.
times that we've talked
Feel
about
free to
missiles and anthrax on this podcast, there probably are some NSA agents.
Yeah, someone's got to send something to us. Yeah, eventually. But I liked it also. After all this happened, you posted get off my thread. You posted on social media, Ollie. What do you expect to happen?
It's like coming to your house and then saying, "Dave, get out of here. What are you doing here?"
Yeah. It's like throwing a party
Yeah.
in your own house and you wonder why you're there.
FYI, it's my birthday party in 4 weeks.
Where's our invites?
It's a month.
I haven't actually put any official things together yet. It's
Oh.
going to be one in a week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So 3 weeks out.
Is there actually going to be alcohol there?
Yeah. Not for me.
Because you don't drink. How long has it now been?
Year and a half.
Year and a half.
Yeah.
You're doing well.
Thank you. So there's going to be a couple of events. There's going to be me and possibly just Julia doing a dinner. There'll be a party at my place.
We don't need to know your personal private birthday party thing. Those.
Me and Julia are going to put on our birthday suits. and have a bit of a birthday.
And we're gonna go to Thai Happy.
But not actually shorts!
Yeah. There'll be a party which you guys are invited to, and a poker game which you guys are invited to as well.
But not you guys out there.
$1,000 bind. Actually,
So-
Bill Stevens, you can come if you want.
You realise if he turns up, you got to be really awkward. Because
No, you can come.
really, do you think if he turns up, you would invite him in?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, Bill.
If he took the time and
You
money,
have 4 weeks to get a ticket here, and you can go to Oliver's birthday.
you can
party.
come to my party if you're here in 4 weeks. I can say that. Yeah. Do it.
I kind of want to see this happen. Come on, Bill. Mail yourself to us.
To be fair, how much would it cost this short notice? 4 weeks it would be from where America.
It's actually enough notice to get a decent ticket.
All right. Well, come on, Bill. Let's party.
Yeah, it costs about, what, 3,000? Oh, New Zealand. So, what? Something 2,000 American?
My trip to Japan's coming up in 3.5 months. I'm terrified.
3.5. We're just slowly recanting all of Oliver's schedule right
Yeah.
now. So
tomorrow.
just in case you're taking notes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think on the schedules, Ollie talks about editing, but that's just recently come up.
So yeah, I'm in Tokyo and Kyoto.
Have you ever done a trip like this by yourself?
Not really.
It's like flying between
What's the
Wellington and
closest?
Auckland.
What's the closest?
Living kind of independently in Australia, I guess. My mum and stepdad still lived there, but I kind of had my own life going on.
But you didn't go, travelling like this? Going
Well-
to a hotel and by yourself and all that
Not
stuff?
by myself. Me and my sister hitchhiked all around the South Island years ago.
Yeah, that's going to be huge. That's going to be a huge culture change for you.
Yeah.
Because I've done a little bit of travelling to America, Canada, England by myself.
You even got to see Critical Role live.
Yeah, I went to Indianapolis and saw Critical Role live. So I've done that travelling stuff, and it is very daunting because you're by yourself.
And I don't speak. I kind of speak the language, but not.
Yeah, at least
fluently.
I went to English-speaking countries as well, so that makes it easier for me.
But I've decided, because a while ago I bought 3 Cuban cigars, because I figured if I get 3 nice cigars to smoke on special occasions, maybe the universe will conspire and give me 3 special occasions on which to smoke them. But I've decided when I get to Tokyo, I'm going to smoke one of the Cuban cigars.
You allowed them into the country?
Yes, I've checked.
Oh, good.
I like that logic, actually. I might buy 4,000 Cuban cigars so that the universe would be 4,000 amazing moments.
No,
It'd
that's
be funny
some
if you reach
serious
88,
stuff.
you've still got 4,000, you just look at them with a sad face, like, I've never had a moment.
Coldplay is just playing as he rolls these cigars down a hill.
Or find out that the universe was like, well, the first moment was buying the cigars. You didn't smoke one, so I can't do anything else.
Yeah, you can't hang me up.
You gotta do it in order.
Is that you're so blind to the good moments in your life that you never actually smoke them?
Oh my god, that would actually be the saddest thing. It's like, actually there's been tons of amazing moments, but you just didn't think they were cigar worthy, and that's all on you.
It's like you look at your child being born, you're like, it's not the moment. You look at your son getting married, still not the moment.
Yeah, you finally get into like the top tier of Hearthstone, and you're just like,
He's like, yes!
And while your son's in the corner going,
and more Coldplay fans.
Coldplay just
Cool, just 3,999 to go.
Yeah, just a kid holding like his hand against the window.
Yeah.
Just sad, looking out in the rain. You're a neglectful father in this story.
That being said, like when I think getting a good rank in a game is it would be cigar worthy, because for me, breaking out of Bronze 5 in League of Legends would be the moment where I'm like, give up the game, because I'm like, that's the retired moment. It's like, oh, I've done my yards. I got out of the lowest rank in the game.
Well, see,
I can move on with my life.
And then you open the door and realize you don't have one.
There's a guy that comes into my work regularly. He works down the road, and he's one of the top 5%. He's in the top 5% of healers in the entire world for World of Warcraft. And his guild does Mythic 22 runs where the bosses have 700% health and damage. I'm just like, that's impressive. But then I realized saying it that no one probably cares.
Sorry, I fell asleep. What?
So, t-shirt idea.
No. Anyway, so you haven't seen Han Solo yet?
No.
What have you seen any new movies that have come out?
What was the most recent movie I saw?
Deadpool, probably.
Actually, admittedly, yeah, it was Deadpool. I've been catching up on.
Don't blame me. I wasn't involved in the free tickets that you kept on going on about getting. He's the one with the ticket.
To be fair, one of them cost me $2. But I went with my current flatmates, which just happens to include Dave. That happens sometimes.
I'm trying to feel
like
a life of pro.
I think it was the spirit of the moment one. I don't think we planned it that well.
I actually don't give a shit.
Yeah, but you brought it up twice already. You keep on bringing it up. It's like, I don't care. I really don't care.
Where's Coldplay when you need him?
Where's Coldplay when you need him? The band.
I said them.
Dave. No. Coldplay.
It's just Chris Martin.
It's just
Chris Martin.
Yeah. To be fair, name another member of Coldplay. Exactly.
I don't know. I'm not a Coldplay.
That was like that's like Adam Levine, where like Levine. I don't know how to say his last name, but like when he just suddenly realized, he's like, am I really the most of 5 of Maroon 5? Like, I could probably do this by myself. And then
I'm gonna look it up. I'm pretty sure there's not 5 of them anymore.
Were there ever 5?
This love has taken
was Maroon because I mean, Big Hero 6 had 6 characters in it, but it didn't have 6 movies.
The Mighty 9 kind of arguably has 9 people.
No, it doesn't have 9. Oh, it has 9 people right now.
Yeah.
But initially it didn't.
S-Club 7 doesn't have 7 people.
Yeah,
anymore.
they changed it though. When members left S-Club, they changed the number.
To S-Club 6.
Oh my god, I did not know that, and that is amazing.
If you don't know what S-Club 7 is, for those Americans, just look it up. Yeah. It was just stupid pop music.
I used to have that album.
Those of you who do know, also know that there ain't no party like an S-Club party.
Because an S-Club party don't stop.
That's not the next line of the song!
Ain't no party like an S-Club. Gonna
show you how.
I'm so ashamed to know both.
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm looking at it, and it says there's 5 members, but there's an option to click more.
Would you like to add, would you like a couple of side cast members with your S-Club 5?
Yeah, it's like Maroon 5. Should we add another one? Should we change the number? No, it's too much paperwork. You have to
are they marketing like the Big Mac of pop groups? Like if you want to hire them for a gig, you could get an S Club 5, or if you want to shell out a couple more dollars here and there, you could get up an S Club 6 or S Club 7 Lite.
There are members of Maroon 5. There's Adam Levine, Jesse Carmichael, Mickey Madden, James Valentine, Matt Flynn, PJ Morton, and Sam Farah. So there's 7 of them.
There are 7.
And there was a past member called Ryan Dusick.
What is the 5? What does the 5 mean?
I don't know. I don't even know if it started with 5. Doesn't really say the origins of Maroon 5.
Do you know why D12 is called D12? Even though there's only 6 members?
Because they're bigger, larger than life, so they times themselves by twice?
No, because they've all got alternate personalities.
Oh yeah, because it's bizarre and all. Well, what's Eminem's on then?
Marshall Mathers.
Ah, I see
Slim
what they're
Shady,
doing.
yeah.
It doesn't really say why they're called what they're called.
Did you know the story of how Black Sabbath went from playing blues to the music we know them as now?
You might as well sell it.
So, essentially they were really at the time into occult stuff and black magic, and the guitarist had like his apartment all painted black with upside down crosses. And one day Ozzy finds this book. It's like an 8th century terrifying book about Satanism. So they're all reading it and like reading it out loud. It's all full of Latin and pictures of Lucifer and such. And then that night, the guitarist had this dream that there was like this malevolent black demon force sitting at the end of his bed, just like pointing at him. And he had this horrible, weird, like sickly, sticky heart terror feeling. And the next day he told Ozzy about it, and Ozzy had written the lyrics to Black Sabbath, which is about a black creature sitting at the end of his bed staring at him, and his like plea for God, please save me, the devil has found me. Anyway, they turned it into a song, and then at a club they were like, should we try that song that we wrote, the new one, just to see what people's reactions were. And they said they got such a reaction from it that that's when they started diverging into like metal and things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to Maroon 5 trivia. They weren't originally called Maroon 5. They were called Kara's Flowers.
Wait, is that Car is Flowers?
No, Kara's. Okay. So it's K-A-R-A.
Because I used to know about flowers.
Flowers.
Okay.
And that's why they weren't doing well.
And then they changed their name to escape their pop roots.
And then they...
And then went poppy anyway.
Into it anyway.
But they did have 5 members when they changed their name. So yeah.
There was...
And that's when Songs About Jane came out. Which is their debut album.
Which actually I found really interesting, because when that album came out, like it was popular, but it didn't seem as popular. And then I'm pretty sure they released like another edition of that album, and then it blew up like 3 times as much as it originally did. It just seemed really random.
Did they sing that song, I'm Not a Perfect Person? Was that one of the songs?
Yes.
Maybe. But they weren't very popular when they first started. I don't know how this has become a Maroon 5.
Yeah, I know.
But it has. This is where it goes.
I actually used to have This Love as my ringtone on my flip phone in high school.
Did she say goodbye too many times before?
I actually have this memory of me and my friend Sean dancing down the road at like 2 a.m. to that song along the streets of Christchurch, like 13 years ago.
Wait, is it Sean in a wheelchair?
No, that's Dan.
Ah.
I didn't know Dan at high school either.
Ah, okay.
I met him after that.
I get confused of your friends, I guess.
Dan's coming up to visit.
No.
Next month, yeah. Exciting.
In a parallel story to Ollie's ringtone and dance move. I mean, I have Psy's, the song from Psy,
Gundam Style?
Daddy. The Got It From Your Daddy song. Yeah. And that plays as my ringtone, and I sometimes find myself alone in my bedroom dancing to that song.
Do you know what's funny?
I'm an adult. I use the Apple theme song, just the Apple ringtone on my phone.
You know what's
Who
funny?
he also finds dancing at some point in a random place.
Yeah, I love it. It's got a good kind of answer me, cool. You know, I like it. You know what you're saying?
For Gangnam Style, the song that was really popular in America, even though it was all in Korean, actually reminded me of Shakira when she released the song originally Wherever, Whenever, but she released it in her native language, and it was a huge hit because everyone was drunk, but like if you actually
What? It was a
listen
huge
to
house because there's a period of time where the world was
everyone
drunk.
was drunk.
And it was just everyone was just loving Shakira.
You don't remember that? Like when Shakira was always playing and everyone was drunk?
No, we live in reality.
No, we don't. You live in reality. I got evicted from reality for not paying my reality bills.
Yeah, you can't do that.
A similar thing that is going to be all in Korean and super popular in America would be the eventual peace deal between North Korea and South Korea, because it sounds like America's not going to be involved whatsoever at this rate, so it's only going to be in Korean.
And Trump is completely ignoring all of Japan's security concerns about the missiles and stuff.
Can we not talk about Trump?
Do you know what's funny?
Politics.
Trump was playing golf with Mr. Abe, the Prime Minister of Japan, and the Prime Minister of Japan was taking a swing out of a bunker and fell over and like hurt himself, and Trump just continued walking like to the hole, like, completely oblivious. I thought that was such a perfect metaphor.
Are you saying that Trump doesn't care about other people?
I thought it was such a great little macrocosm of his entire life.
I'm just over it.
Yeah,
that.
No,
it's just it doesn't get better, and it just makes people angry, and the other side makes people furious. It makes people sad, and at the end of the day, we just talk about it again.
But think about it. It's something to occupy this void of existence. It's something to talk about, something to think about, something to be like, Trump.
Oh, existentialism has just reared its ugly head.
What else would we be doing?
I like to think. This is my theory.
Oh God, I'm scared.
Is that we have humanity, in order for it to evolve in the right direction, we have to go through those periods that we're a bit ashamed about and a bit kind of, why did that happen?
Yeah.
And I feel like right now we're kind of in that void of this period of time that we're going to look back on it and like, let's just make sure this BS doesn't happen again.
I mean, I completely...
And with that, with school shootings as well, of all that's happening, as ugly as it is, so many other things, like even New Zealand are high suicide rates. It's terrible. But it feels like we need to go through these periods to realize how much we don't want it. And then when we're looking back in history, say 50 years time, we're going to look back on those periods and we're like, let's not go back there.
Well, okay, now I think you're right in some respects there. We look back on apartheid and we say, what the hell were we thinking back then? We'll probably do the same once gay marriage is legalized in all 50 states and everything like that. But I just also feel like it's like, at this point, can't we just learn a lesson without having to live it? Can't we just look at a situation and be like, we should not go and kill many thousands of people?
That takes the fun out of it.
But that's not,
wouldn't that be faster?
But that's not democracy. That is one person deciding it and hoping everyone would just go along with it. And that's the point of democracy.
And then Bo shows up and pulls it aside and is like, hey, don't you make decisions.
We're not going to have that. It was actually rather heated. It was good. I liked it. We had that two different opinions on the NPC episode.
We did conduct ourselves like civilized gentlemen, and I'm proud of that. But yeah, the Reddit thread on that, like, because basically you've got like the first post.
Just so you know what we're talking about the recent Critical Role episode.
Yeah.
There was a very heated discussion at the end of it. With Bo, one of the characters, and Caleb.
Yeah.
And basically, the crux of the issue is Caleb was deciding for the party to hold on to a bowl ritual and not give it to the person they had been essentially escorting to find this bowl.
Yeah.
And Bo had some words to give to Caleb about his actions with that.
Because I always, after the episode, I always go through the spoiler Reddit thread, the post discussion, and I just add a second page of notes. But it was funny because like it was that topic for about 7 pages of just like everyone being like, nah, it was this. I don't think so. Yeah, it was. No, it's not.
And that what makes a good story. If you take a scene or you take an event that happens in a movie or a story, and you look at it and people have different interpretations of what that actually meant.
Yeah.
And I think that's amazing and fascinating that people could take this story of two people playing imaginary characters with no visual element of just two characters talking to each other in a Dungeons & Dragons game, and people to see that interaction in so many different ways and lights. I think that's fascinating.
And what's the oldest practice we have storytelling, and that we actually legitimately at this point, I say probably both of us care about these characters, which is amazing because it's an improvised storytelling medium.
Yeah,
but the main thing that I want to stress
is that I'm right.
Is my new T-shirt idea. So it's gonna say, "Bill Stevens come to my party." Hashtag 4th of July.
No. I wanna edit that. I think it should say Bill Stevens.
Don't you dare talk about editing right now.
I think it should say Bill Stevens brings the party.
Yeah.
Because then if he chooses not to come, because he has his entire own life.
I like how he uproots his entire life just to come to your party, and then you're just like, okay, it's a little bit creepy now. I don't want you to turn it up, and he's just outside going,
holding a present while Coldplay.
I just have this feeling that like on Bill's side, right, it's gonna be like one of those movies, like the Hangover movie, or those kind of movies where you have this like big party is the big thing. They've got to go through all this stuff to get there, and it's crazy and it's ridiculous. And they do all these hard things to make sure it happens, and then they get there and it's Ollie's party, and it's like really casual and there's nothing really amazing going on. And he's
we should mention who Bill Stevens is.
No, let's not. Let's leave it to a mystery.
No,
yeah, so no,
it's really confusing us mentioning this Bill Stevens all the time if someone's only heard this. Basically, Bill Stevens is someone that listens to the podcast and sent us some gifts last week.
Yeah.
And Jason was here for that, so that's why we can mention Bill Stevens from Milwaukee.
I love Bill Stevens. He's awesome.
Yep.
But yeah, there's going to be fairy bread. It's going to be a rockin' party.
Fairy bread.
Oh, yeah. It's gonna be
how old are you?
I'd prefer...
Do you want to mention on the podcast what age you're
I'm turning 29.
I'm 29. Yeah, you're the youngest.
Out of...
I'm also sad for the record. I'm 30.
Yeah.
And how old are you, Jason?
You looking at me with that smug look in your face. I am the ancient one, okay? I am the bearer of knowledge of vast years.
Yeah.
No, I'm 32.
Shit, man, I was at a party recently and someone was like, yeah, I just feel so old. I'm 22 now. I'm like, oh, that's off.
Our flatmate's 21.
Oh. No, actually, I think it's endemic of 23-year-olds and 22-year-olds that they're like, oh man, my life is over. I blame the Lily Allen song 22.
Yeah, that's probably
the starters.
Well, it's ironically, was it 20? Oh no, Alfie was about
getting back.
her brother.
Yeah, we're getting so close.
That being said, Lily Allen is great. If Lily Allen wants to come over to Ollie's birthday party,
come check
feel
us
free
out.
to come down.
Hey, Maroon 5, you do weddings. Hey, you come over.
I don't have money to pay you guys, but definitely you're all
No. He has money to pay 5 of you guys. You can't bring the whole 7.
I don't want Maroon 7. I'm just going to go for the budget option.
Any number or numeral, whatever you choose of S Club.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're using.
I think there's S Club 3 at one point as well.
The rest of the S Club members, the rest of the Maroon 5 members, they can all hang out with Jason's aforementioned theoretical son while he smokes cigars, celebrating Hearthstone.
And while I cough in the corner, just dying.
Well, I'm wearing a t-shirt that says #Bill Stevens. There we go. That's an ultimate recollection of everything except for the editing that we've mentioned in this podcast. But I can edit the joke and then put that in there.
Were you telling me about it?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay.
How are we doing on time?
I'm going to pass out. No, don't worry about
it.
You're going to pass out?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I haven't had one coffee because it's so late I won't sleep.
Alright, well, how about we answer the question and then we can end it for today. I like to go for an hour, but I guess we can't.
I thought it has been an hour.
It's about 20 minutes away.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember looking at the clock at 9:30 and it's now 10:30.
Well, that shows 40 minutes.
Okay.
And that's probably more accurate. And by that I mean I'm pointing to the recording equipment right there. Yeah. So James Grant sent us an email. Now, I basically replied to him saying I'm going to read out your email. And he goes, thanks for replying, Dave. And now this is very, very long.
Okay.
So he said it was nice meeting Jason.
Oh, comfortable.
He thinks it was basically meeting you when you hear it, as well as hearing his voice. So he met you and he liked hearing your voice. He might be in the room right now.
Yay! How's it going?
He hadn't seen Avengers Infinity War yet. Luckily, we didn't really recap it.
We had a terrible... We're like, spoiler warning. Let's not actually speak of it, though.
Tell Oliver hi from me as well.
Hi, how's it going? Good to see you.
What's his name? James Grant. Just literally said it, Ollie.
James, you're awesome. Come to my birthday party.
It's so many random people.
And it's going to be like me in a room with this huge motley crew of this random assortment of people from all walks of life.
Have you seen the episode of Rick and Morty with the parasites? That's what I'm expecting now. It's just a whole bunch of random people who are all going,
don't
you remember me from...
Yeah.
So, anyway, he goes, I feel like I'm getting to know you guys more and more as I listen to your shows, especially the podcast, which is basically the point of it, just for us to banter and realise you shouldn't really be following us.
Banter!
They're all all over the place, and that is good. I guess that's a
It's like
compliment.
a backhanded compliment.
If it's any
No,
consolation,
he said that is good.
Yeah.
So I mean,
It's kind of like most people can't look good with greasy hair, but for you it works.
I wish I had hair.
You know, I am solidly all over the place. That's great.
He says it gives us insight to both your psyches.
That's dangerous.
That's very dangerous.
Oh,
I
especially
have a
always.
new question. He is stating I have a new question.
Oh.
What old school D&D video games did you guys play, and which one was your favourite? I.e. Baldur's Gate, Icewind Dale, Diablo, Hands of Lore, etc. Myself, I guess Baldur's Gate 2 was my favourite from back in the day. Of course, none of them compared to Skyrim or Shadows of War. Isn't technology wonderful when it comes to making D&D themed games almost real? To go on that, my first game that I ever played, didn't even realise it was Dungeons and Dragons, was Baldur's Gate 2.
Yeah.
I played that heaps when I was a kid, and I got really annoyed I could only have 6 people, so I would restart the game all the time, just so I could get like a different combination all the time.
Yeah.
But any D&D games come to mind? Diablo 2?
Diablo 2 I was massively into.
Yeah.
I clocked that originally with the Barbarian.
Does Diablo count as a D&D game?
Well, it's kind of the same sort of storytelling.
Classes
thing,
and
yeah.
stuff. Right?
So Lord of Destruction, that was like the first game I ever really got into. It was one of the first games I ever played online with other people, and it was like marveling at the miracle of the internet. It's a game that when I was locked in a mental asylum for 9 months in the Gold Coast, it was one of the few games we actually had. So that was fun. I got to play that a bit more again. Icewind Dale I have on my phone.
Just recently though, right?
Yeah, there's a mobile game of it. I've been playing through that while I've been in doctors' waiting rooms and bus shelters.
And on that note, we have been thinking about doing a third show.
Yes.
Of actually doing D&D games.
Yeah.
Called D20 Plays. Because we did our first two, which is the Baldur's Gate playthrough, and we had a lot of fun with that, and got a good reception.
That was really cool.
I think the problem that we've got is time to do it all.
Yeah. Because Dave works full time.
I work full time, plus I have, let's say, a business on the side.
Yeah.
That I'm working to try to get off the ground.
Yeah.
Also the channel here.
But when he says, let's just say I have a business on the side, it's a real business, it's a real legitimate thing that he's working on. It's not like some weird like mafia thing that you'd say, I just have a business on the side.
Yeah.
You know.
There's a reason why I don't mention it, because it does get looked down upon. It's nothing bad, I don't think, but it's in the food industry, let's just say that.
Yeah, he traffics small kids' organs and sells them. And,
I like food industry, then you mentioned small kids. That works out
they're
well
organs.
for me.
They grill them with barbecue
That's
sauce.
brilliant for me. Thanks, Ollie.
Tiny
I'm
splinters.
going to be looking forward to that knock on the door.
Oh, did you see that? That's the rabbit hole we just went down.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks, James.
Yeah, that was awesome.
So if you do want to send us an email for anything we talk about, we love getting emails, and we talk about them whenever anyone sends it through. We'll mention on the podcast, obviously, if it's appropriate.
Yeah.
Just if it's naked pictures, you can't read out a picture.
No, I just print them off and put them on my wall.
Yeah, and all the emails I've sent through for trying to pose other people, they've seen through all of them. So it's
Yeah, and they're just posting on Ollie's wall.
I really love, like, because Dave, you'll mention to me every time that we get something like this. Most of the
I
time.
didn't mention this one because
No, because it was a surprise. But you always make sure that I know, and it makes me excited.
Yeah, I mentioned, like, I try and keep certain things from you in terms of I want your genuine reaction to be recorded.
Yeah.
So I hope you don't take that as me being a dick.
No, I understand what you're doing.
Yeah,
and I really love the emails because you know it's
so if you do have a question, I mean, we want to expand this podcast to talk about all the content we do. But other things, if you want love advice, if you want to know what's the best method to swipe on Tinder, I'm your guy.
If you want to know how to hack security cameras, shit, I shouldn't say that, should I? If you want to know how to make...
Well, you shouldn't say it because you don't know how.
I can.
Go, tell us.
Okay, so there's a line of code. It's in URL. Wait, what's the thing? Quote mark, in URL, colon, viewer frame, question mark, mode equals, end, quotation mark, minus in URL, minus in title. And that'll find unsecured security cameras, mainly in places like Japan. And not only can you look through them, but you can actually turn them from your computer. You can do that through Google.
There we go. That was Oliver. Oliver said that.
If you do that too often, Google will start asking you if you are a robot. Because it thinks that it's a script.
Again, for those for our fans of the NSA, just so you know, that the location that this podcast will be probably uploaded from is not where Oliver lives. You'll have to keep searching.
But perhaps his mail is still here. So hypothetically, if you raided our house, you might be able to find it.
Thanks,
while you're there, actually, if you do, raid Oliver's home because of this. Can you please let me know if you found out that he was entire happy during that time? Like,
yeah.
you should know
It's
this.
still a mystery. And let us know if you find any diary notes about my editing.
Yeah.
It would be really good to get that feedback. I would love to have that feedback, and so I know what to improve on, what to work on.
And I'd also just like to say, I just love the line to our fans at the NSA. I think that's great. I want a shirt with that.
Could the NSA do it?
No! I demand royalties for that line.
The NSA doesn't have jurisdiction over us, right? Because it's American.
No, they don't, but they're also part of the largest military complex in the globe.
Yeah, but they wouldn't invade the country for
one
guy.
They don't
hypothetically reading out.
You don't need to invade a country when you can just go, "Hello, my allies. We've got to go raid Oliver's house." Because he's been ridiculous.
They already know your name. The whole channel is plastered all over it.
I'd also like to just mention...
I'm not saying your last name.
No, thank you.
Yeah, they'll just say, hey...
Deliberately not mentioning your last name.
I would like to just mention that we've updated our privacy policy as well.
Yeah, everyone has. We've updated privacy policy, but not really secure enough.
I've been updating my privacy policy with every person I know.
Yeah.
You just individually. Yeah. We have different privacy policies for everyone.
Really? Do you have a privacy policy for me?
But we don't need one.
I'm
trying to look saucily at him, but you can't see that because this is a microphone, not a camera.
Did you remove the clause about recycling bags? Because it feels like you did.
Trick is, there was never a clause about recycling bags.
Oh, I knew it! That's where I'm going wrong.
There's actually recycling boxes. It was a typo, but I've never gone back on it, so, you know. I'm making a dumb joke. It's a really bad joke, but you took that way too serious.
I was only half listening to it. If I was going to be completely honest about that previous conversation.
Do you know who wasn't half listening?
You.
Our fans of the NSA!
Because they get paid to listen.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean,
they would do it willingly.
Could you
listen to this podcast willingly?
NSA just hanging out. On their lunch break.
Could you imagine though if
like
there were some people from the NSA who caught this podcast and then afterwards they were like, actually this sounds like a thing I'm pretty into. I'm going to keep watching.
I just imagine this office of NSA agents that are like hunched over these flickering computer screens going, boss. There's movement in Al-Qaeda. They're teaming up with North Korea and they're going to work, oh shit, no, I'm off the clock. Let's load up D20 Afterhours.
I was like, they talked about anthrax last week. I can't wait for this one.
It's actually interesting. We've talked about Trump, missiles, anthrax, hacking computers, and that's just the last three podcasts.
Yeah, I mean, we seem to always go to the same kind of stuff. It's because people don't send us enough emails.
Yeah, NSA, if you guys want to come to my birthday party, I will set up a...
So you're going to have Bill Stevens, James show up, and the NSA.
Yeah, and Jason's aforementioned.
Okay, well, the irony, though, is that completely... if all of that did happen, then the effort that Bill Stevens would have been putting in for his Hangover movie... actually would culminate into something, so yeah.
So basically...
NSA, if you're gonna come to the party, bring the party.
I just imagine, I'm just building the image of the party in my mind, and I now have just added a whole bunch of guys in black suits with dark sunglasses and things in their ears, just bopping along to Katy Perry and Maroon 5.
Well, you probably imagine that anyway, let's be honest.
It's true.
But yeah, if you do want to send us an email, I know that was a weird advertising for an email. It's kind of really weird, but if you do want to send it to d20multiverse@gmail.com.
Or search for our Discord, which is the D20 Multiverse.
Don't search for it, just look for the link below.
Well, you're very prepared.
Well, you can't search for it. There's no ability to search for a Discord.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, that's awkward. But yeah, the links to all our social media is down below. Facebook, Twitter, Discord. We also have a Patreon if you want to flick us a buck and help us push us in the right direction of where we want to go.
And help me make t-shirts.
He would not be in charge of making the t-shirts.
I think we had this conversation quite early on that you're in charge of the finances.
There's a really specific reason. The reason why I decided to do that was because you accidentally spent money on a flat card for dice.
Yes, that's
I think that's where it came from.
I pulled out the wrong card.
He did!
I pulled out the wrong card in my wallet, and Paywave is a thing now.
And you accidentally did it. And I was just like...
This is why.
Yeah.
And also because I'd spend it.
And also you're obsessed with buying dice. It's like, I'm saving to Japan. Oh, by the way, I bought a $60 dice.
Hey, the $60 dice came out of the necessity for a metal set of dice that was not the other one that I bought because that one was unlucky.
I just want to... I'm pretty sure the singular for
dice is
die. Yeah. I just wanted to point that out on a on a channel
But
that's
I was
called
talking about
D20.
You know how many recycling bags we can buy for $60? You can buy quite a lot.
I feel like that makes. I think that makes things even, right? I failed to buy recycling bags. You failed to use dye in a sentence.
I was talking about a set of
That's
dice.
not really equal footing. I still have to look at the fucking pizza boxes.
I'd also just like to point out, how long did it take to accumulate these? Because that's quite a lot of pizza for a human to consume.
14 minutes.
I've been telling you to buy bags for about 2-3 weeks now.
So I'm just...
No, longer than that. Longer than that.
It's,
I think
it's a
just
complicated circumstance.
have a broccoli or something.
Broccoli.
You know,
Actually, on a side note, broccoli is actually has got a bit of protein.
just because this podcast is all about airing out our problems or my problems.
And broccoli.
And broccoli.
I didn't realize that this was what this podcast was.
That's what this is.
Oh, okay.
I think what grinds me the most is not the fact you haven't got them. It's the fact that you say you've got this. And never just turn to me and go, alright, Dave, I don't have time to buy the recycling bags. Here's the flat card, go buy the recycling bags.
But then he goes to do it and there's no money.
But then I hit him up and he's just like, yeah, I've got this. I'm like, alright, next day. Oh, I forgot. I'm like, okay, if you need me to get them, tell me to get them. But you're like, no, don't worry. I've looked on the internet. You can buy them from the Central Library. Next day. So they don't have them at the Central Library. I'm like,
It's the one library that's open till 8:30 at night.
We literally have a library down the road.
It's not down.
It's closer than the Central one.
I know, but not when I'm working.
The great thing is, I used to be in the middle of all this because I used to live here, but now I don't. I just come here for podcasts.
Yes, and now he's in the bliss of taking photos of himself and another person and claiming he's in Thailand.
Yeah. Hey, look, Jason, we're in Thailand.
We're in Thailand.
By the way, we filmed this podcast in Thailand.
Yeah, we did.
Anyway, so thank you all for listening to whatever this was. As it is every week, we just banter for an hour. We want Jason to be the third host, so I'm going to try and drag him on
We
more
love
and
Jason,
more.
we actually
But it
do.
all comes down to whether he's working or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if I have a bag of popcorn or something to watch these two go at it.
Oh, I just remembered I bought golden syrup pudding. I'm going to eat that one again.
Well, that's completely unrelated to wrapping up the podcast, but thanks.
But thanks
Yeah. So
To recap.
Yeah, John. To recap, we'll find out next week or next podcast whether we have those recycling bags. It's going to be a nice little story development there.
Last time on the podcast.
Can we please do that at the start of the next podcast?
It has the recycling bags. If Jason's here,
Yeah.
we got the recycling bags. If he's not here, I'm probably not going to be here either because I've left the house. I just don't want to live here anymore.
Okay.
Okay,
He did coax me onto the podcast, which he didn't actually need to do, by saying
feels
that
like
because I
sometimes
didn't
I
bring the. No, it's when I can't.
No, actually, I've got something to grind with you. I told you
Yeah.
to be ready at 9:30. When we were about to record, what was the thing you did?
Okay.
You're like, oh no, I have to go to the bathroom now. We literally sat on the couch and filmed for 30 minutes. You could have gone to the bathroom while we were
This
doing
was
that.
at 9:45 when they asked me, "Hey."
Oh, so the
can you,
15 minutes made a massive bladder difference.
No, I was ready at 9:30. I was ready. I would have held that like a champ. But you guys weren't ready.
That's it. We're done.
And we're
done. All right, thanks
All right,
everybody, and I'll see you or talk to you in 2 weeks.
This is my last show. Bye.
Remember to message us for invites to my birthday. Along with the NSA.